Arsenal were leading the Premier League table for 248 days last season, but eventually lost the title to Manchester City. But they are now going for all the players that they wanted. They've already signed Kai Havertz and have reached an agreement for Declan Rice this season. They are leaving no stone unturned. Can Arsenal win the Premier League title this season? That's what we are going to discuss in this live. Hello and welcome to WION Sports Extra. I am Nikhil Mathur and I'm joined by my sports writer Digvir Singh Deo.
I was very intrigued in watching Zuckerberg train for his match with Elon Musk. We just hope that we get this kind of a contest in the Premier League next year.
Who will win?
Next season.
Who is the Manchester City? Zuckerberg? Okay, coming back to our topic. Mikel Arteta is also a man on a mission. He is going for his targets. It's the beginning of the transfer season and they've got two quality players. Can they challenge City for a title?
We discussed this last season, sometime in March or April, that despite the lead, I never felt they're going to win it because Manchester City are a beast. They're monsters. And they're monsters because they've won the Premier League consistently leading up to that title race, right? The end of the title race. So Arsenal, let's see on the reasons why Arsenal came into contention last season. It was also because they had Zinchenko, they had Jesus, who had won multiple titles with City. So I think he knows that to challenge City, and I think, can they win? I'm not sure. They can push City again. To challenge City, you need a squad. You need a squad of very good players. And I think Havertz, we could never see him that full quality, but I just remember that goal he scored in the Champions League final. The guy has quality. And Declan Rice is probably going to give them a lot more solidity. Even, who else came? Jorginho came. Jorginho came in. Trossard came in. They've got a good squad of players. Yeah. What they need are leaders in that team. And I just don't think Odegaard is the leader. They need somebody, maybe Declan Rice is that leader. But Arsenal sort of are impressing you. So that's what, in one day, a combined outlay of 210 million? Yeah. That's 130 million for Declan Rice and 82 for... That's $215 million straight away on one day. Yeah. I mean, that's as powerful a statement of intent that we are not going to give up. That we think that the Liverpools of the world, the Chelseas of the world and the Uniteds of the world had their chance. This is our time now to cash in on that cycle. Because we all know that Liverpool are on that sort of downward spiral. It's going to take them time to get back, maybe a couple of seasons. United still transition, maybe one more season for them to hit their straps. Yeah. So this is, Arsenal are there. And Spurs have also gone down and Spurs are going to take time. I think Arsenal are there to take it to the next level. But I just think they need a leader.
Yeah. But what a midfield? Odegaard, Rice, Havertz, and they already have some good players.
Jorginho. Xhaka? What's happened to Xhaka? He's going?
He will go to Bundesliga. He will probably leave. He wants to go back to the Bundesliga. I think what's impressive is that they are being aggressive in the transfer market. Let's not forget, they outbid Manchester City. Yeah. When have we ever heard that? Arsenal outbidding Manchester City.
Any team outbidding Manchester City.
Exactly.
In England.
Yeah. So,
or anywhere in the world.
A huge statement of intent. We have been critical of Arsenal in the past that they haven't been aggressive in the transfer market. But this time they have really stuck to their targets. Mikel Arteta made it clear to the board that he wants Declan Rice. That was his priority signing. And they have, paid a huge amount of money for him. But he will add another dimension to the midfield. He's a very solid passer of the ball, can break it. He's versatile, has that odd goal. So, very, very impressive signing. As Digvijay said about Kai Havertz, he scored the winner in the Champions League final.
German international, proper. Yeah. But what's the scene with Arsenal signing players who are around London? How many of them now?
I think players
want
to
stay in
London.
You will go to Liverpool or Manchester.
It's like William Gallas. He played for 3 London clubs. Willian, we've seen him play for Fulham, Chelsea, Arsenal. So there's something about London that is special. Of course, Digvijay is also a huge fan of London.
But I don't have a house there. Not yet.
Maybe Miami.
But
too far.
Too far. Very, very impressive. And just a point about Liverpool. So what happened with Liverpool last season? They did not add to their squad and then they were nowhere near.
Evident, yeah.
But Arsenal, they are doing all they can to push Manchester City again next season, and full marks to them for this transfer window so far.
Let's look at it this way. Yeah. Let's look at the squad and let's look at stay going. Yeah. Or is it going to be a winner? Yeah. Ramsdale, winner for sure, staying.
Yeah, staying.
Tierney, future international,
staying.
future great. He's there.
Yeah.
Ben White,
Yeah, he had a
staying.
good season.
Thomas Partey, staying.
Going.
Going big because they have now Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Maybe they want
He's
to.
been linked to,
Yeah.
to Saudi
Gabriel,
Arabia. So
the defender,
staying.
staying. Very crucial player for them.
Yeah.
Scores,
Yeah, yeah.
corners. Saka, outstanding.
Saka, outstanding.
Sort of
They
Yeah.
want to build their team around him.
Odegaard, staying.
Captain.
No, but
Yeah,
He will
yeah,
still
but
remain
yeah.
the
But
captain.
he scored
had a
double
very,
digits.
very- he
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
Very good season last
He
year.
had-
You
Jesus,
can't question him.
outstanding.
Staying.
Outstanding. Right. Emil Smith Rowe, future.
Number 10, yeah.
Sure. He, in fact, he's going to be crucial. He was arguably their best player in the,
previous one.
21-22
Previous.
season.
But-
and he had injury problems. He's a
I think
very,
the one
very good
player
prospect.
who went away was Willock.
Yeah.
Who had
Yeah,
Arsenal
so
talent
Newcastle,
coming through
yeah,
went to
yeah.
Newcastle. But there were
Another
issues
one
over
of
there.
those shrewd Newcastle signings.
Yeah. Okay. Saliba.
Their best defender.
Yeah.
I think if he remains
And
injury-free.
they in the market for an Ajax defender. We're forgetting the
Timber.
name.
Yeah, Timber is a ball playing.
Yes.
He's very
Nketiah.
good player.
Yes.
Nketiah, the jury's out, but I've seen him play. At times he's
Yeah,
unplayable.
he scored some
Well, he's definitely a prospect. He needs to be more consistent.
Holding. Rob Holding.
Could go. He's
yeah.
not one of
Maybe
not one
squad
of their-
player or
yeah,
yeah.
squad players.
Jakub Kivior. Cedric Suarez.
All these guys.
The Japanese guy is
dispensable.
there. Tomiyasu.
Tomiyasu.
He's going to be around.
Yeah.
Okay. Trossard, new signing.
Trossard.
Jorginho, new signing. Fabio Vieira, okay. You need squad players, but not going to excite anyone. Reece Nelson, Mohamed El Neni,
All squad players. So we can see that they have a good
Kai
squad.
Havertz coming in now.
Yeah.
Shaka, we don't know. Zinchenko starts.
Staying.
Nicola Pepe.
Pepe,
I don't think
he
he's
hasn't.
in their plans. I don't
Yeah.
think
He's
he's
been.
in Arteta's plans.
He's a big
big money
signing.
signing.
yeah.
Big
It
money
was
signing, and it
Arsenal's
was, yeah.
record signing. I think it was 3 years ago.
That's a
Has
decent
it quite?
squad. That's a decent
very,
squad.
very good squad. And
I think it's well rounded. They've got goals.
Yeah.
They're not getting that steal in midfield, and if they can get
Timber, the
the
defender.
Ajax guy,
Yeah.
and their defense anyway was not bad. They had
Yeah.
a good defensive record.
Because Saliba was injured, that's why they were leaking goals. But another, like last season, they weren't going in as one of the title contenders. But would that also play on them?
No,
this
I think
season?
once you've gone toe to toe with City,
Yeah.
it's not about the 250 days they were in the lead,
Yeah.
right? It's about the last 1 month.
of course.
And that's where they lost it. And in fact, if you look at all Arsenal campaigns over the last 6 or 7 years, before Arteta, even if you look at
Even-
the Wenger era, it all came undone in April and May.
Yeah.
But the problem this season is they have Champions League. So we'll have to factor that in as well. See, that's where City count, right? I mean, City know how to play these big games. The question is, do Arsenal know how to play the big games? Though they had a good record last season against the big teams.
Yeah.
Apart from Manchester City, of course. I think Manchester City, I mean, they are the benchmark.
They're the best team in the world.
The best team in the world. I mean, they will be overwhelming favourites for the Premier League title again. I think everyone is chasing them. And Arsenal, to their credit, as of now, with their squad and with the season they have had,
They have the-
are closest to them.
Yeah, they have the best
you have to
chance
say.
in terms
And in the transfer, and a lot is going to depend about how teams act in the rest of the transfer market. Liverpool, I mean, we were talking about a squad rebuild, but who have they signed? Just one player. Manchester United.
Haven't signed anyone.
Haven't signed
And
anyone.
not even linked to anyone right now. It's just.
I think it's waiting for the sale. The sale
Yeah,
needs to go
probably
through.
that has
Yeah.
hindered their
I mean,
chances.
Chelsea been busy. They spent 600
They've
million
been-
last year and they're not
offloading
offloading
players.
people. Some more people going to Saudi. Mendy's gone finally.
Yeah.
Mendy's gone.
So that's now how many Chelsea players have gone to Saudi?
There's Hakim Ziyech is on his way also.
Yeah,
3 and 4 players.
Four. Yeah.
And also, I remember once when Peter Cech signed for Arsenal, that was their only signing, that entire transfer window. And now we have come to this point. So I think the board is also backing Arteta, and I think this is Arsenal's. For me, this is Arsenal's best chance of winning a Premier
But
League
think
title.
of it the other way. How can you get the backing of the board, especially when you're competing with the likes of, say, a Chelsea or a City, when you're fighting for 5th and 6th?
Yeah.
I think the fact that they're now a Champions League club, that's going to attract. How many years they've been out of the
6
Champions
years.
League?
6 years. Back in time.
Same with Liverpool, right? But Liverpool were out for what,
Yeah.
7 years, 8 years?
Long time.
Long time.
I
No,
think-
after Rodgers,
Yeah.
that season when they lost the surrender in Madrid, and they were out for 4-5 years till Klopp's second season, I think.
Yeah. So I think, and what's very impressive is that Arteta has absolute clarity in the
Yeah.
transfer targets that he has, and they're being very, very aggressive. I think Arteta is pushing the board, and the board is backing him. And now, he has to But now pressure is on Arteta as well. These are big money signings. Now he has to
But
take the
I
team to the
disagree
next
with
level.
you. I think the pressure was on Arteta last year, at the beginning of
And
last year,
he'll-
because he'd
Yeah,
been there for a while and the,
needed to get
and,
the
they,
Champions
they
League.
were always sort of falling short.
Yeah, and missed out on Champions League as well.
In fact, one season he spent, I think it was summer of 2021, he spent around over 150 million. Not on any big name, but he signed 4 or 5 players. And then they
But when
just
Odegaard
missed out.
became permanent.
Odegaard, Ramsdale.
Is he in the
only
Gerrard
weakness- No, he doesn't score as many goals. That's what I was saying. Maybe the one thing that he can add to his game is those goals. But to be
Arsenal-
fair to him,
He's a box-to-box guy.
Yeah.
To be fair to him, he
A bit-
plays a bit deep. So
Yeah, so a bit like
not in and out
Vieira?
the box. Yeah, can say.
Yeah.
He's not exactly
Arsenal
a,
have missed someone like a Vieira.
of course, he's
ever
not
since he's
exactly a
gone.
holding midfielder and not really a number 10 type. So he's like a central midfielder, old school central midfielder.
Okay.
With star-studded midfield of Odegaard, Havertz and Rice, how far can Arsenal go this season? That's what we've been discussing. You know,
But where Havertz play in the midfield? No, I think he's playing up.
Havertz, it
Winger,
depends on how
number
you
9,
define him.
yeah.
He's very versatile.
See,
He can
Jesus
play.
plays down the center, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You got
So then
Odegaard on one side,
And
and you'll have
Martinelli.
on the left because he
Odegaard usually
play a
plays in the
diamond,
number 10.
or play a
So
3-5-2.
They can play with three-man.
I think a
three-man
3-5-2 or a
Would be
midfield
interesting.
diamond with
Martinelli, Jesus, and Havertz would be interesting to see.
yeah.
Another
Odegaard can play back where Henderson plays, like an advanced 8.
Yeah, and Zinchenko also plays that inverted back, so basically the 3 and then he joins the attack.
Yeah, thanks Steve for that question. Karan says, is this the best midfield trio in Arsenal's last 10 years?
Thankfully, you said last 10
last
years.
10 years. I also
Okay.
Arsenal's best midfield is Robert Pires and who?
20,
Vieira.
2013.
and, yeah.
I mean,
Invincible season. But yeah, in the last 10 years,
last 10
probably you would say in the last 10 years, this is the strongest overall squad as we just, discussed. It's a strong squad and I think the problem with Arsenal in the last few seasons is that they have sort of petered out in April and May.
Soft.
You
I mean, the word for them was soft.
Yeah.
They're not soft
So-
anymore. See, they lost the Premier League, but against to whom? The greatest team of all time. I think this is a good Arsenal team and they got to build on it. If they don't build on this, it's never going to happen again.
yeah, that's something. This is the best chance in last or after the invincible seasons to go for that.
Well, there
Premier
have
League
been good seasons. See, the problem with the Invincibles was after that, what happened? They decided to go into that stadium, right? So the money was a problem because they were building Emirates and they had to leave Highbury. So in a way, he juggled it very well. But you remember, they reached the final 2006, lost to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Henry was there.
Henry was there, yeah.
Till Henry was there, I think they had a Henry, Van Persie, Fabregas. They were still a good team. Yeah.
Okay, so let's just take the poll.
Yes. Poll result. Just a second. So, can Arsenal challenge Manchester City for the title next season? Yes, 48.1%. No, 51.9%.
They're very close.
Very close.
No, we had a
Very close.
50-48 the other day.
Yeah. This is basically a 50-48. So yeah, that's I think. But let's look at the rest of the transfer window because I expect Liverpool to rebuild a little bit, and if they can get it right, then I think Liverpool, Manchester United, they can also push Manchester City. Long way to go in the transfer window, but yes, full marks to Arsenal so far. And
So would you say City are at Everest and Liverpool are base camp?
Liverpool,
Man United are probably a bit
Trekking
ahead.
still going.
Cole 1 and
Arsenal
Cole
are-
2 Arsenal, just below.
Just yeah.
Yeah, so
Attempting to summit, but the last 200 meters are the most difficult.
They need a few more Sherpas. Yeah.
okay, so besides the football, what do we have on our show at 6:30 p.m.
Tennis,
IST?
lots of tennis.
And
What's going on with Tsitsipas? Can't play on grass.
And Tsitsipas, he hasn't defeated any top 15 player in last 6 or 7 months. I mean, he's been going through a rough patch.
Yeah, especially on grass.
Yeah, and Fritz was also a defending champion again, who lost pretty early.
And John McEnroe doesn't want tennis to take Saudi money, but we're going to talk about the Saudis as well because the Live event is now in Spain. Sergio Garcia making some interesting comments saying that there's been a thaw not just in relations between the PGA Tour and Live Golf, his friendship with Rory McIlroy is back on.
Yeah.
It was a big fallout. Big fallout. That's nice to see.
And of course, Ashes, Joe Root picking up those 2 wickets. Who would have thought?
Oh, by the way, Ashes, what were we saying yesterday? Oh, those conditions. England going to win the
green
test
last
match.
conditions, Joe Root picking 2
Egg
wickets.
on our faces.
We didn't expect war ball and trap ball.
Yeah.
I mean, but England could have bowled better. And Travis Head, I think he's attending baseball meetings. He's playing his own game.
That's the way he's playing.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have report of
There's
this.
a lovely article I read, by the way. Ever since he made his comeback in that last Ashes series, nobody has scored more runs in the final session of a test match at the end of a day than Travis Head. So he waits for the bowlers to tire and then he just goes at them. There was a stage they were going at 5-6 and all.
Yeah. So yeah. And we're also waiting for a Steve Smith century. He may break a lot of records. So yeah, that and much more on our show at 6:30 p.m. IST. Thanks for tuning in.